Alright, good morning, good day. I hope you guys are well. This is the African Crypto Warlord. Today I'll be looking into Amazon and there is some crazy shit. There's one other stock that I've seen that might be doing the same thing. But anyway, so let's jump into it. Thumbnails, clickbaity thumbnails. What are they going to be? They're going to be the 21 day. So I'll put it in the time frame thing or whatever, timestamp. So 21 day generational wealth code. Then I'm looking at the 7 day, 5 day, and 6 hour as the unicorn signals. All right, you'll see them compound into each other. If you just click through them, write that down, remember that. Then I'm going to define those signals by the 24-hour range. And then the 15 minutes going to cook, and that's what we're pretty much starting on. Anything that happens here, you're going to pretty much say is mean reverting down to 221. Any downside action, expect it more than likely for 225. But yeah, that is its ideal target. We can obviously define it a bit better a bit later with extra tools from Alpha Trading. Links below. Okay, so let's jump into this. Let's go 90 day because I'm not going to pay attention to these things, and I'm going to be as quick as possible because I'm actually honestly excited about this. This is crazy. Anyway, so we have 90 day, not so much. 45 day, no cone, just cooking. Then 21 days generational wealth cone. How do we want to deploy this thing? We'll do the one on the left. Okay, last time 21 day. Ooh, 21 day on crypto, bro. You don't want to get it wrong. That's why I'm not going to show you the direction of my volatility. I'll be like $1,000 a minute signal. Anyway, so holds below the bottom, wants to go for blues. That's pretty much the idea. Holds above blues, wants to go for blues. Wants to fail blues, come and touch blues. It obviously didn't. Got above blues, played around. As we still say, fail below blues, come touch blues. So what's the idea, right? Either it's going to try push new higher highs. I will be very, very precise on this because I'm only going to show this once. Yeah, it's cleared for new highs at 245.48. So write those numbers down because I'm not going to write them down. But when I rewatch this, I will. Okay, so that's there. As long as it's basing off the bottom side of this cone, it should give a return up to 289. Okay, so now we're going to put these two cones together. You can see that that's crazy. $483, or not so good. But we do know if it does maintain 287, that's where it kind of wants to be, is at $1,000. And yeah, it's not too bearish actually, because it's quite that's its range. So it's sort of where it wants to be, but it has to have to break 483. So now we can solve this issue. I am so excited about this. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of ignore every other cone except for the ones I like. I'm joking. Hold above this blue. I'm gonna just keep it as simple. Hold above that 225, because this is gonna be 225. We'll say hold above 225. Push 676. I treat this like crypto. Hold below this number to whatever I said there. I'm not going to double check. 225, whatever it is. Hold below there. I just say $100. Sounds crazy. Other probabilities you'll see on other time frames, they start to play around here. $105. Meh. Hold above $105. Push for 136. Close below 136. Push back down for 110. 110, 111. Mustn't forget those numbers. They're going to pop up. Okay, 7 day. Unicorn signal. Okay, I'm going to just cut into the raw. You'll see what happens. I'm not even going to explain it. But the general idea is I call it a cone transfer. Because sometimes you'd think like, oh, the cone escapes, but if the volatility doesn't print again for a new cone, that cone is still in play. So now this is crazy shit, but you'll see how it starts to actually play effect as we drop into the 5 day and the 6 hour cone. The 6 hour cone is going to give us a better thing. Okay, so long story short, this is kind of in no man's land in this coin here, but if it gets to it will get rejected, or if it gets above $1,032, it's gonna like build a rocket ship, extra $500 up, so just call it $1,600. General idea is whatever happens here, but if it gets to $78, it's gonna try bounce to go back up there. If it gets up there, it's gonna try bounce to go down here. You'll see what happen on the low time frames. Now, those are like the edges of the gravitational pull of how I define this stuff in my head. Those are the edges of the gravitational pull of the black holes that I want to calculate. The rings of its gravitational pull. Okay. Pretty dope. Unicorn signal. I'm so dope. And the 21-day generational wealth thing. Hold above the blue line. It's pretty easy to see. Okay, so now here we are on the 5 days. You can see it's a little bit tighter here. Squeeze about this. Hold above 172. Run 352. Hold above 352, just because we're going up right now. 1,281. But more likely like a 472. So if it does get in here, it really needs to get above 472. You see that from coin transfer to coin transfer, the blues do play a level. So top side there is 660, 472, and it needs to get above $361. Now downside stuff, because it's being protected here, as you can see, 172-ish will be about the next bounce. It kind of needs to hold above 130. It's pretty far out, but even that's quite far out. But you can see that is a little bit more specific. The range is going to get tighter. I kind of want to jump straight into the others, so I'm going to keep this simple stupid. You'll see this signal being generated, not the signal, you'll see this cone also being generated on other time frames, but anyway, we'll just keep it simple. To above 234.65, you can imagine it's going to go into the top side of the unicorn signals. Here, 230, just call it 239, get to 239, hold above 239, it's going to break into 239. It will allow it to break into this top side. Now we'll get even tighter. That's why I don't really want to pay too much attention to this. This is, I'm going to be quick on, oh, I shouldn't have shown that, because it doesn't really matter, because you're not using that right now. It's the most important part to this. Anyway, we're going to just do a quick define of the range here. You can see blue to blue, so we trap Amazon 234.16, 214.67. So I might even use this as scalperoo, pooperoo range. Doesn't look like there's gaps of shit. Might be accessible. Anyway, closes below 214.50 or whatever it was, 196. Closes above 234, 255. I think that is a new high. I don't know. I don't need to go too far back. But yeah, so we'll just leave that there for now. It's quite a big range. Here's the same signal as the other one I was talking about. Pretty much the same places. 234, hold above, you're going to go up. Hold below, you're going to go down. Here, 243, hold above that, you're going to go up. Transfer into the 6-hour cone, baby. Okay, so you can see that those means do make a difference. Where do you start to gain traction for price discovery to the upside if you're a bull? 240. This is the unicorn signal. So $240, 35 cents. It can reject then and carry on playing in this range, but the idea is as soon as it gets in here, you're looking for 260. And then where's its mean? I know it sounds crazy. 350. Maybe that target came up. I'll have to remember 324. Rejections at 260, 286. Inverse of this, if it does, let's say, get there first, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't even matter if it gets there first, whatever. Whatever happens here goes up or down, but let's say it gets below 220, 13 cents. I would expect another bounce of 204.50 cents, let's just call it, and 185. Now, if you're going to look for, let's say, down here to 152, and the inverse will play, we want to see like a hidden bear dip play, or negative drift and volatility. Even in here, 259, we want to see like a positive drift. I call it positive drift, float, volatility contracting whilst negatively correlated. Small candles up is how I just picture it, or it is how it sort of dictates what the candle does. But anyway, so there, 25938. It's a little bit tough, but that is your gap, guys. You're above 240, 40 cents. Price discovery to the upside. You below 219.35. Price discovery to the downside. going to be wrangled here. So I really like that signal. And then nothing much here. So let's go 3 hour, 3 hour. Actually, not too bad because this is going to get us to the bottom side of that one. The cone we just came from, the transfer unicorn. 21953. It's not bearish, it's just the range. Halfway there would be $226.15. If it's going to be bullish, bounce in here. You'll see on the 15-minute. I actually want to remember these. I think I'll get it better on the 230 and 40 cents. Close below there, you're pretty much pushing for 220. Just say hold above here, pushing for 241. And I will double check this. 241. So that's above. That's pretty much the price discovery. And it is currently, what I say is not allowed. But as soon as 3 hours. So tomorrow it will be allowed to break its previous high. Don't worry. I just say this for myself right now. Anyway, blue to blue is the expectation, as that always is. Whatever it happens, hold above pink, hit the blue, close below the pinks, hit the blue, hold above the blue, hold above the pinks, go for the blues. Okay, so the general expectation is yes, if we can hold above these pinks, it's going up. Sure, line in the sand for me here on the 3 hour, close below that, going down. Share all the black holes. 90-minute. Yeah, I think this is a little bit more actionable because we can define the range a lot easier here. Okay, 230 and 58 cents, 233 and 55 cents. That's your range. If you can hold in that range, it'll pretty much be bullish, like you'd see on that 21-day generational cone. That's pretty much the idea. It's a completely different cone because it's been going for so long and it's actually pointing up. But anyway, close below 230, you're looking for hopefully a bullish bounce at 226. Otherwise, it's not too scary. It's not crazy to say failures here. We do look for the blues. Like that is the edge. So 2115. Any closes below 233, I do look for 2115. Obviously, any of these lines that are in between will slow it down. Luckily, I get to watch this live. Okay, 45 minutes. Ooh, why did... sorry, I shouldn't be doing that. Okay, 45 minute. Yeah, this one was quite interesting. So it's the same. This is the same effect as the unicorn signal, but this is just in a closer time frame. So more than likely by tomorrow, we'll give it like 30 minutes. You can start to see that it's going to match up to, please be the one. This top side, 240. What was I on? I was on the 45 minute. 240. So 240 is actually all the way up here. Pretty much. Okay. Rejection. All right. So the second blue is the idea that I was explaining earlier. As you go micro in, the probability is still the same. Anyway, so closes below 235. I don't think any price discovery to the upside. Yeah, pretty much now we'll go transfer to the left. Any closes below 231. We do look for some downside to 229.04. I would imagine it just looks like a natural thing to do. Weekly targets and stuff might be down there as well when they print. So then if it does come down, which would be nice, hold above there, give me a little bit more confidence from 229 to try and push for 236. So I'd like a touch here before it pushes there to just, yeah, okay, the Nokia 33TM game is a lot easier to see. And then, yes, we'll leave it off with 15 minutes. This is kind of bearish. The cone is, the cone is what it is until the next one prints. So, yeah, we'll leave it off back to the middle of the black hole. Why is this freezing? 225. All above 225, I guess it's still bullish short term. Okay, if you guys found this information helpful, please do like and subscribe. If you want to have access to the tools, there's the Discord link below called Alpha Trading Tools. Thank them a lot. Been many years in working, can't thank them enough. Yeah, join the Discord there. Drop some comments, like, subscribe, and win a high five. African Crypto Warlord out. What's the next one? I'll say I can't do it right now. I'm exhausted. I think this will be my favorite one. It's NVIDIA. This is what I want to trade on the 1 minute, 30 second. So, yeah. Much power. Stay wild. Don't worry. Those coins aren't in the right place. Have a good day.